on the table in a big way. India will feel the Indian CEO to articulate its concerns on the outsourcing issue. Besides that, it will also take up the issue of visa denial to many Indian IT professionals and increase in H-1B visa fees. In New Delhi with Maha Siddiqui, this is Saurabh Shukla for Headlines Today.
First, there was a lot of talk about how President Obama wants to end to the extent possible outsourcing by removing the tax incentives Indian companies enjoyed in America while outsourcing businesses to countries like India. But now this is getting very, very ugly. Nasscom, the apex chamber for software commerce, has written to the American ambassador saying visa interviews are turning into interrogation chambers. Indian techies are being insulted and being humiliated. They're being harassed. So is this visa interrogation and also immigration interrogation really limited to isolated cases, or is there a larger design? Narayan Murthy, founder, chairperson of Infosys, joins us. Dr. Amit Mitra is the Secretary General of FICCI. Peter Dagger is Obama's campaign manager, political analyst, joining us from Patna, where he'd gone to see a Nitish Kumar rally, try and get a sense of how Indian democracy works. With us also is Sanjay Puri, founder and president of the Alliance for US-India Business and chairman of the US-India Political Action Committee. Subrata Bagchi is founder of Mindtree Consulting, with us from Bangalore. Dr. Mitra, I want to come to you first. This missive that's been shot off, the tiny article, it's coming from Nasscom, which usually is very upbeat about exports, very upbeat about outsourcing, very upbeat about America. But now we're seeing the Nasscom president writing and saying that the situation on the ground is quite bad. Indian techies are being harassed. Do you believe these are isolated instances which have come out, or do they reflect a larger trend, Dr. Mitra?
Isolated incidents, and something that we certainly are not proud of, and I'm sure Americans are not proud of. However, we have to look at this relationship in terms of specific areas of micro-intervention which relates to, for example, this particular problem. Also, simultaneously, we have to look at the relationship on a geopolitical scale of a much larger strategic partnership. There will be problems of this nature. We have to forthrightly, honestly, and in a well-argued manner, we have to put this forward. And I'm not surprised that Nasscom has written with a natural reaction if techies are being subjected to humiliation of any sort. But I would like to say this is one of the many issues that perhaps Indian business would raise, remembering that this is a fundamental strategic alliance with 20-30 nodes, but none of those nodes can be neglected. But there are 20-30 nodes which make this relationship a globally huge relationship during this visit. Okay. So this will be raised, but there will be many other issues that we will raise, and I am not at all happy or not in a position to defend the undefendable, which is, if such a thing has happened, really saddened.
Okay, that's very interesting. You're very measured in your words all the time, Dr. Mitra. You're saying that this would be defending the indefensible. Subrata Bagchi is a legend of Indian consulting. I want to go across now to him. Mr. Bagchi, what could have led to this kind of visa screening that we're seeing the Nasscom president write to the US ambassador about? What really is going on the ground? What are the reports that you're getting? So can you tell us about that, please?
My sense is that it is a culmination of many things. First of all, there's a lot of anxiety in the US about the economic situation there, which does not seem to be getting under control anytime soon. And of course, there have been pronouncements by political leadership in the US related to US keeping US jobs in the US. And these sometimes send the wrong kind of messages to the people who are actually in charge of administering the process. Sometimes it is not the intent of the leadership, sometimes it is not even a change in the law, but there are people down the line who know what mood the administration is in, and then they tend to be more royalist than the king.
But you know, how bad has it really been on the ground? A lot of techies telling us that they feel that they were being frisked and interrogated as if they were terrorists, not coming to help boost and bolster the American economy, but coming maybe trying to blow up towers. That's the feeling they got. After speaking to all these young techies, what's the sense that they gave you about these interrogations that are now being spoken about by Nasscom?
I wouldn't say that they have been handled like terrorists. I wouldn't go to that extreme. First of all, I wouldn't know what it means to be handled like a terrorist. But some of the interactions have definitely been demeaning, to say the least.
You're saying the interactions have been demeaning, to say the least. Peter Dagger, as Obama's campaign manager and a political analyst, I want to ask you what really is going on, sir. Why is it that the Apex Chamber for Software is having to write to the American ambassador in India days before President Obama visits, saying our techies are being harassed when they go to the United States? What's going on, sir?
Well, I think it was very poor management on our part. If you look at things, the only rights you have are the ones you fight for, not the ones you ask for. And I think that we need to understand that America is hurting. America needs good quality jobs. I was just in the United States last week, and I'm telling you, it's a bad situation. I think anything that can be done to press both President Obama as well as the U.S. Congress to ease restrictions on these visa requirements, as well as encourage Indian companies to continue to create thousands of good jobs in the United States would be a very good idea, because we need them.
Okay, you're saying you need the jobs, but Sanjay Puri believes that America at this time has no option but to impose restrictions on outsourcing, which people in India believe A, are unfair, and B, why are they being subjected to such interrogation and harassment?
Well, as far as the interrogation is concerned, I think Amit rightly said it's defending the undefendable. Now, what happens is there is this, this is not about a job issue. This is homeland security. When people make policies saying, we have mail bombs and all this other stuff, the message goes out that be careful. And I think some people are more zealous in their being careful, and you start seeing people taking their job maybe way more seriously. And I think this obviously is miscommunication and mismanagement, as it has been said, and it should not be done to anybody, whether it's a techie or a non-techie, because if America is welcoming of people, and we say we are the Statue of Liberty, land of the free, then make sure it's a land of the free. Either we say we don't want these people, if we want them, we should not be frisking them.
Okay, let me bring in Narayan Murthy into this debate. Mr. Narayan Murthy, thank you very much for joining us in Center Stage tonight. This whole question of outsourcing and America's attitude towards it, how badly is it impacting business, and do you believe this whole hype that's been created around outsourcing and Obama being anti-outsourcing is a bit overhyped?
Well, the Indian software companies add considerable value to corporations throughout the world. Our charter should be to work harder and harder to bring new innovations and make sure that we have become more and more indispensable.
Okay, but the fact also is that all other previous American presidents, especially the ones who've come recently and other heads of state who come, either go to Bangalore or go to Hyderabad. Barack Obama is going to neither. Does that reflect his own attitude towards outsourcing, towards the Indian IT industry, which he views with a lot of suspicion?
I don't know if that is true, because we didn't have President Clinton visit Bangalore when he came to India. So I am not very sure that